Welcome to CCN News. I'm your host, Captivating Christian, and here are some of your top stories for today, February 7th, 2020. An appeals court tosses out the Democrats' emoluments lawsuit against President Trump. The White House eyes plans to purge the NSC and fire Alexander Vindman after Trump's acquittal, the Revenge Report. U.S. Department of Justice opens up a civil rights investigation into Mississippi's prisoners following the death of 15 offenders. 19 arrests in undercover human trafficking investigation in North Carolina. A TV station uses a woman's mugshot when referring to a black South Carolina Senate candidate. And Maryland governor says that young black men offering to clean drivers' windshields are deterring tourism. They're tired of being harassed. Let's get to the news. A federal appeals court on Friday dismissed a lawsuit by congressional Democrats alleging President Donald Trump for violating the emoluments clause of the Constitution by refusing to allow lawmakers to review and approve his financial interests. The ruling is a major triumph for the president, who intensely sought to keep his business affairs in private, just days after the Republican-held Senate voted to acquit him on impeachment charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The case's dismissal effectively kneecaps one of several attempts of the Democrats have made to dig up information about Trump's business holdings. Before Friday's ruling, the lawsuit was on pause, just as Democrats began to subpoena the Trump Organization. This emoluments case was one of three ongoing constitutional challenges to Trump and his business, alleging that the president is violating an anti-corruption emoluments clause. Two other emoluments cases attack Trump for his alleged competitive advantage to the Trump brand and real estate empire. Those cases are still moving through the court system. Fresh off of President Donald Trump's impeachment acquittal earlier this week, the White House is reportedly considering a purge of the National Security Council to remove some staff perceived as disloyal to the president, including Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, citing three sources familiar to the matter. The Bloomberg News reports that senior officials were notified on Thursday that some staffers would be departing the White House. Among these reportedly on the chopping block is Vindman, the National Security Council top Ukraine expert, whose damning testimony about Trump's inappropriate dealings with Ukraine in the impeachment trial sparked a smear campaign against him by Trump allies. According to sources cited by CNN, Vindman had told colleagues he believed that he will be leaving the NSC in a few weeks to go back to the Defense Department. Though it was not immediately clear if the move was voluntary, Trump has reportedly expressed his anger that Vindman remains on the NSC and his responsibilities were diminished after his testimony, according to CNN. The White House is said to be keen to make Vindman's departure look like just a part of a wider move to downsize the NSC rather than payback for his impeachment testimony. The U.S. Department of Justice has opened a civil rights investigation into 4 Mississippi prisons, which have made headlines as of late, reported by Fox 13. The federal entry will probe the conditions of the Mississippi Correctional Facility in Pearl, the Mississippi State Penitentiary at Purge, the South Mississippi Correctional Institute in Leakesville, and Wilkinson County Correctional Facility. This comes on the heels of the Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves shutting down the notorious Unit 29 at Purge. Throughout January, 9 people died by suicide or altercations that ensued in the facility. Since December 29, 15 individuals in state custody have died. An undercover human trafficking and prostitution investigation led to 19 arrests, according to the Alamance County Sheriff. The sting operation in central North Carolina ended with 9 accused of soliciting prostitution and 6 charged with prostitution, and a host of other charges that included promoting and profiting from prostitution. During the operation, multiple people solicited undercover officers where they planned to pay for sexual acts and or wished to be paid to perform sexual acts. The sheriff's office said undercover officers ran the sting on January 28th and 29th. An undercover human trafficking and prostitution investigation led to 19 arrests, according to the Alamance County Sheriff. The sting operation in central North Carolina ended with 9 accused of soliciting prostitution and 6 charged with prostitution, and a host of other charges that included promoting and profiting from prostitution. During the operation, multiple people solicited undercover officers where they planned to pay for sexual acts and or wished to be paid to perform sexual acts. The sheriff's office said undercover officers ran the sting on January 28th and 29th. South Carolina's local Fox affiliate, Fox 24, used the mugshot of a 22-year-old shoplifter when reporting about Democratic South Carolina Senate hopeful candidate Jamie Harrison. Harrison, who is black and bald and in his mid-40s, however, bears no resemblance to the young black woman displayed on the show. Javonja Shadia McLeod was being moved to a detention center in a transportation vehicle on Wednesday, when she attacked the transportation officer and escaped, according to WCLV. Although the station quickly corrected the mistake and ended the segment swiftly, the damage to the station's reputation and its objectivity is in full effect. South Carolina Representative A.J. Moore is demanding accountability for the egregious mistake of identity. He said, and I quote, "They need to issue a formal apology to Jamie Jamie has my full support and I stand with him." Jamie Harrison is actually going up against Lindsey Graham's Senate seat in South Carolina. During a community meeting on Monday, Governor Hogan expressed his concern about the Squeegee Crew, who set up on prominent intersections offering windshield cleaning services for drivers. The topic of the crew came up during the governor's discussion centered around crime reduction in Baltimore, being his top priority. It was more of a discussion about really violent crime and the shootings and murders, but the Squeegee kids was an issue. Governor Hogan said on Monday, "I thought it was driving people, keeping them from coming into the city because they were tired of being harassed in the streets." Despite the governor's ambiguous concerns, the Squeegee members say it is a profitable job that complements their full-time careers. One Squeegeer said, "I don't know who keeps telling people that we don't have jobs, but I work for Amazon and Sparrows Point. I have a 9 to 5 and I still squeegee." The governor confirmed that the job is high paying and is a lucrative form of receiving additional income. One of the ministers had a program where they was trying to employ some of the squeegee kids, but the program is some of these squeegee kids make $40 or $50 an hour harassing people on the streets, and it's hard to replace that with a job. Governor Hogan said Squeegee members are aware of the push from some lawmakers to get them off the streets. However, they say they are simply just good guys in blue. One squeegeer said, I'm just trying to work and take care of my family. That's it. Watching and listening to CCN News. As always, please be the change that you want to see. So if you want change, you have to be that change. The change begins with you. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Once again, I'm your host, Captivating Christian, and thanks for watching. Peace.